Hey guys. So last night, for really no particular reason, I watched that terrible Death Note movie again. I keep telling myself, maybe it's gonna get better. Maybe it'll get better. Maybe I'll find something about it. No, in fact, I was watching it and I noticed a huge plot hole that if they people the people working on it really knew about Death Note, knew anything about it, this wouldn't have happened. So anyone who doesn't know, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. If you've never seen Death Note, go watch Death Note. It's only 37 episodes. It is by far one of the most perfect animes you'll ever see. Um, but the Netflix adaptation, it's just terrible. I've talked about it several times before. Between the fact that it takes place in the US to the fact that Light Yagami is Light Turner, I said, it's like, why not just have a Japanese American family? That way you can keep it as Light Yagami and they can put it in Seattle like they want it to. So why not just a Japanese American family, you know, with the last name, with the name of Yagami, so and then Mia is the Misa alternate, so Mia Sutton. I'm like, what? L is black for whatever reason, and he's like nothing like L. He's spastic. He goes on wild tirades of emotional. Like L is not emotional at all. I mean, he may portray emotions, but that's to get a result that he wants. But this guy was like flipping his shit and losing it, and um but I was so the part I'm talking about happens about halfway, almost at the end. So basically they're trying to find out L's real name. So they decide that Watari would probably be the best way to do it. So they write Watari's name in the notebook, but just as Watari. Like just his name. And that's not even his real name. His real name is like Quilling Whammy or something. Because in the anime and the manga, he founded the Whammy House, which is where L grew up. Became the detective he is. Basically, it's like an orphanage type thing, and they raise these kids to be the greatest detectives. Um, and after L became, you know, who he is. I mean, the letter they go by really is L. Well, sometimes, like Nier goes by N, but after L dies, then Mello and Nier are the ones to succeed him. So once something happens to like the chosen ones, then they raise, they continue to train till someone can succeed them. But his name is like Quilling Whammy or something. It's not Watari. Watari is just his nickname or his fake name. But they write that name down, of just Watari down, and somehow they're able to fucking control him to the point where he does what they want. And in the movie, they're like, oh yeah, you can. Ryuk says something about, yeah, you can burn the page of someone's name who's written on it, and that person won't die, but you can only do like once. So I think they mean like so if Light has the book, he can only burn one page while he's the owner, because Ryuk says, be careful who you're choosing, because you're not going to get another chance. So he planned on getting Watari to reveal L's real name, and then take out the page, burn it, so that way Watari wouldn't have to die. But turns out that Mia took the page, and Watari ends up dying. But just the fact that they just put Watari down, no last name, no nothing, just his nickname, and somehow they were able to control him, which is stupid. Which, like I said, I don't think the people who wrote the movie this for the script actually knew anything about it, because you need a first and last name, and if it's a fake name, it doesn't work. This has been proven in like one of the earliest episodes when when Light is being tailed by Ray Penber. He dies, and then his fiance is there, and she tries to find out who Kira is, and Light finds out that she pretty much has figured everything out. That it's not just heart attacks that can kill people, and Kira can control people and stuff like that. So he's like, okay, I gotta find her real name. But the name that she gave him was fake at first, but he didn't know that, so he writes her name down, thinking she's gonna die. Well, but it's a fake name, so she's not going to die. And every time her name comes up, Ryuk laughs because he can see her actual name because Shinigami eyes can see the person's name and lifespan. So he ends up getting her real name, and then he's finally able to kill her. But like when L starts doing the whole thing out in public, when he starts going to the college, he goes under the name Hideki Ryuga, which is also the name of a pop star, movie star in that world. So, but then when he's around everyone else, he goes by Ryuzaki. So he's got several names he goes by, so that way no one can actually figure out his real name. But just the fact that they write down Watari, and so he's like, okay, I will do what you want. It's stupid. Also, the tearing out the page in the manga, like the original, like I think this was for like the pilot kind of thing. There was a death eraser where basically if you killed someone, you could erase their name and they would come back. The main character killed like cops and stuff, and he at the end he erased these names, and they come back to life. But in the manga, the main manga and the anime, there's no death eraser. Once they're dead, they stay dead. But yeah, there was a death eraser that once you erase the name, the person comes back to life. I don't think it had a limit because he did it with several people. And the character design looks like a lot like Mikami's design. So I guess it's like beta Mikami. So, but that movie, it's horrible. Like seriously, I've said this before. If you go into it not thinking it's a Death Note movie, I guess it can be fun to watch. But sitting there as a fan and seeing how badly they butchered the characters, they made Light such a little bitch. Like, in the anime and in the manga, when Ryuk first appears, he jolts back because obviously there's a 7-foot fucking Shinigami standing there in front of you. He jolts back, but he doesn't, that's pretty much all he does. And here in the movie, the Ryuk appears and he like screams like a baby, and then he runs to the door and he sees Ryuk and he starts screaming like a bitch even more. Like that's, in the very beginning of the movie, he's caught fucking cheating, like writing, doing homework for other people. Doing that, it's like it's nothing like his character. The only thing about his character is that his name is Light, with like Turner. Oh, my name is Light Turner. His dad's still a cop, but his mom's dead. He has no sister. So, like I said, L is a fucking black dude for whatever reason, and his character, I'm like, even if you say, oh, it's not a big deal if he's black, but his character is so far off from what L actually is. L is like one of the best written characters, but in the movie they completely fucking destroy him. They try to, like in the anime and manga, he's got quirks. He likes to eat a lot of sweets. A lot of the scenes he's in, you see him with cake or some kind of sweets. But this one, it's just, and then Mia. So you have Misamane, who really is a sweet person, and if it wasn't for Kira appearing, she wouldn't have really been who she was. So basically, she only started killing people to get Kira's attention. And you know, she kind of was worshiping Kira at that point because her parents had died, and she obviously wanted justice for them. But the person who did it, you know, might have been getting off due to a technicality. But then all of a sudden, the dude who kills her parents drops dead, all thanks to Kira. So after that, she just fell in love with the guy and wanted to meet him. And she knew that by copying him, it would kind of have, you know, force his hand, like, oh, hey, I have to find this person, you know. So she knew what she was doing, and she's a great character. You know, she wants to be useful to Light, or Kira. But in the movie, she's like this psychopathic murderer. It's like she has, without hesitation, she goes immediately for the Death Note and tries to kill Light's dad when he's on TV. He's like, you're not killing her. That's, you know, you're not killing him. That's my dad. And she's just you know, the way at the very end of the movie when they're up in the fucking Ferris wheel and stuff like that, she shows her true character, and she's just a terrible person. Whereas Misa is sweet and she's fun to be around, and the only reason she did what she did was to meet Kira. But then after that, she's like, well, you know, I just wanted to meet you, but you know, since you're Kira, you know, since you're Kira, if I can help you, you know, she doesn't do it with ill intentions or anything like that. She does it to make it up to the person who took out the man who killed her parents. But I mean, Light's dad is kind of the same, you know, driven by the law and very goal oriented when it comes to his job, and you know. But then at the end of the movie, his dad is there. You know, Light's in the hospital, and his dad asks him how he did it, and Light's like, "Do you really want to know?" And he tells his dad all about the notebook and his plan on how he survived and this and that. And rather than being enraged, his dad just kind of accepts it. That's not something that his dad would do. I mean, fucking hell, look at the Soichiro in the anime. He was like appalled every time L referred or said anything about his son being Kira. He was appalled by it. He didn't want to believe that his son was Kira, and he didn't know what he would. He basically said if his son would end up being Kira, he would have to, you know, he'd probably end up killing himself. I mean, that's how driven this guy was. But the movie version's like, oh, okay. It's like, what? It's so fucking bad. And I hear they're making another Death Note movie. Not the same company who made the other one, but there's apparently another one that's being made. Just please stick to the source material. Please. Death Note is by far one of the most amazing animes. Just stick to the source material. The Japanese have no problem doing it with their 4 or 5 fucking Death Note movies. So just stick to it. I mean, some of them actually don't stick along because, like, there's one of the Japanese ones, Mello and Nier are the same person. It's just like two different side of the person. It's really kind of stupid, but you know, L is how he's supposed to be for the most part. But yeah, this video turned into me talking about that giant plot hole of Watary's name being written down. So just, I could rant on all fucking day about how terrible that fucking movie is, and yet I keep watching it. Every single time I go into it thinking maybe I might find something different that you know, hey, it's not that bad. As I've said several times, Willem Dafoe as Ryuk, great choice for voice, but even Ryuk's character is completely changed. In the movie, he's like this evil being who's just fucking with people and you know, gets involved. The Ryuk in the anime and the manga, he doesn't get involved. You know, he drops the Death Note in the human world because he got bored, and he flat out said to Light, like, hey, yeah, you're never gonna see me giving an opinion about if what I think is right or wrong. You're not going to see me get involved. I'm just here until, you know, you pass on the Notebook or die, whichever comes first. But yet here in the movie, he's like this evil being. It's like, don't trust Ryuk. I mean, one of the best fucking characters in any anime. And they fucking ruined it. How hard is it just to keep Ryuk as himself? Just Willem Dafoe's voice with Ryuk's personality. It'd be more fun that way. But no, instead they make him like this fucking, you know, like a head honcho kind of boss where he's controlling everything from behind the scenes, and it's not who Ryuk is. Ryuk did what he did because he was bored. So, but anyways, if I don't stop now, I'm gonna rant about the movie all fucking day, and it's gonna be like a 3-4 hour fucking video. So I'm stopping now. If you haven't seen Death Note, go watch it. It's 37 episodes. If you haven't seen the movie, go watch it. Just at your own peril. And I'm done here. You know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.